Hey everybody, welcome back to Gray Sentinel. We just got done doing a little bit of shooting downstairs with the Bodyguard. What's up?
With the little guy.
With this little guy right here. We just got done doing a little bit of shooting with the new Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0.
2.0.
And we just wanted to do a little bit of talking about it because while we were downstairs, that guy who I have here today, Chris.
I'm that guy.
He told me that he doesn't really care for 380s a whole lot, but he was pleasantly surprised by this little guy. So.
Yeah.
What's up? What did you like about this?
I mean, it feels good. I like the trigger on it. The sights are actually really good. I am absolutely not a fan of the original Bodyguard. I know y'all can. There's going to be some of you that are going to be all kinds of butthurt. I don't like it. It's got a really long trigger. It's very heavy. It is. The actual physical pull on the trigger is just very lengthy. The sights on it are terrible. It has no grip compared to the massive amount of slide in the upper part of it. But people love the thing, and it's been a very popular gun for, 10, 15 years, something like that, since it came out. For what it is, something goes on an ankle, something goes into a boot, something goes into your pocket. It does what it does, and it does it very well. I'm not that guy.
You're not that guy.
I'm not that guy.
What was your favorite 380 Is the Bodyguard your new favorite 380, and did you have a favorite before?
If you can only handle a 380 and you can't get into a 9mm, there are a couple of really good options.
Yeah.
In all reality, like the LCP, didn't like it. Not as much vitriol as the Bodyguard, because I thought it was just a better gun. The Max, it doubles the capacity. It's not a bad shooter. I really think that when they brought out the 22, I thought that they should have put that in the package together. That way you could do all your practicing with your 22 version, slip the 380 into your pocket when you're going out to actually carry. When the situation arises, you draw that gun not thinking anything of it being a 380, and you shoot it as a 22. The 22 is actually a pleasure to shoot. The 380 is just... My problem with 380 guns and 380 in a general sense is most of the time they take a gun that's of a reasonable size or a small size, and then they make it even smaller because they can, because it's a 380. 380 is just a detuned 9mm. So you don't get the velocity, you don't get all the extra pieces that you get with a 9mm. It is better than a 22. So if the only thing that you can carry is a pointy stick, I feel very bad for you. If you can carry more than a pointy stick and the best you can handle is a 22 and feel comfortable, I mean, more power to you. Carry what you can carry. If you can get up into the 380, great. Better than a 22. Way better than a stick. If you can get into a 9mm, I just think a 9mm gives you a lot better in an overall. And yes, they put them into really small guns, but you got to make that decision of concealment or comfort. And if you're going for more concealment, the small gun is what's needed. Is the 380 needed? I hope not. But again, if it's a pocket, it's a different story.
Good thing I didn't bring up any 32s, so we're good.
Listen, there was a lot of things that we had back in the day.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to tell you what you should carry. I'm just saying I wouldn't carry one for defensive purposes. I wouldn't buy one for shooting either. But that's
So you think 9mm is just a good all-around caliber for carrying protection?
Yep.
How small? And we brought up a couple today. We shot some downstairs earlier. How small would you like to go whenever it comes to a compact, subcompact?
I like compact guns. I don't mind the I don't know what you would call these things, like the micro guns or the micro compacts. I like to call them affectionately the baby guns. I mean, I don't know. It depends, because depending on what you're wearing, I'm going to want something that's going to fit. So depending on where I'm going and what I'm wearing and so forth. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's like ladies in shoes and purses. Like you got different things to go with different things.
Yeah.
If I'm going to the baseball game, obviously not in a pro stadium, but if I'm going to watch we're just going to leave it there. Then I'm going to carry something that's going to be more designed for a concealment factor, not a comfort factor, because I'm not trying to have people know that I have it. The idea of concealment. If I'm going to something like a park, like I would rather have the biggest gun that I can keep not being seen. So never been a fan of like the 26. This 2-finger thing, I can't get down with that. And then
Just get a bigger magazine.
yeah, just get the bigger magazine. You can get that. They call that a Glock 19. And then I get the 19. I get 15 rounds. It's just for the width and the top heaviness of such a small grip. It's not for me. And the first thing people say is, "We'll get an extended magazine." We're getting into a bigger gun at that point. And so you come out with something like the 365. All these guns are unloaded, so at 365 is actually smaller. However, if you notice the way that grip sits, that trigger guard is much higher on the 365 than it is on the 26. So I can get 2 fingers on there with a pinky kind of playing with the edge. SIG went out and did the big boy thing and went really big. This, in my opinion, is almost too big.
Right.
And then you get the fuse, which is even longer. It's getting real confused as to what it is. And
Right.
what it's trying to be. And
Is it
we've
trying to
gone
be
from a micro gun up to, in my opinion, I would classify this as a compact. I would put this in the same manner of like an M&P compact, a SIG 320C, their compact guy, and no, the M&P C is just like the 26 is not for me. It's getting into that. It's bigger. It's in that compact size. As opposed to a subcompact or a micro gun. But you get into this guy, like with the flush fit magazine, like it's tiny. It's smaller than the smallest 365. At the same time though, even without the magazine in there, it gives me that same 2 3/4 fingers that are on there. The slide is just, it gets you a really high grip angle.
Yeah.
So of the 380s that are out right now, I would probably put the Bodyguard at the 2.0 at the top of my list. Great sights.
Adjustable sights.
I shot it for the first time the other day, and I was pleasantly surprised with that gun.
Yeah. And then as far as the other firearms that we have on the table, are there any others that stand out to you, or any other compacts that you kind of maybe didn't like at first, but then once you got your hands on it was pleasantly surprised?
The coolest thing about today's marketplace, in my opinion, is there's so many different options, and what works for one is going to work for somebody else, but maybe it doesn't. Well, that's great. If you don't like this, try something different. Where you're big at just try things out and see what works for you. And a lot of people say, well, find the thing you shoot the best. I can teach you to shoot anything better, but I can't teach you to like the thing you bought. So if somebody bought me a Bodyguard 1.0, it's great. I don't want to shoot it. So I don't want to get any better with it because I just, and that's what I find to be the biggest hindrance in the really small guns is many times they're sold to, we'll say, small framed people that you're in a big box store and, oh, it's so small, it's so light, it's so easy, like you won't even know you're carrying it. You're 100% right. And then you go to the range for the first time and you put that first round through it and it will scare people. It feels like the thing's jumping out of your hands. And it's like, I get it, and it's kind of scary for some people. Then they get scared, they put it down, and they either never carry it, or it's a thing that sits in the bottom of your purse, and you forget you have it.
Right.
And then when the scary moment happens, you forget you had it. So I'd rather have something that is at least comfortable enough to shoot that you don't mind shooting, or preferably that you found something that you like to shoot.
What do you think started off the redesign of the subcompact?
We had single stacks.
Right. And that seemed to be the only way to get smaller.
Your Glock single stack magazine is virtually the same size. Technically, this one happens to be longer because we have that little pinky extension, because everybody needs that pinky on there. But when you can virtually double the capacity and go from 6 rounds to 10 rounds in something that is really not a larger magazine, it's just slightly wider, and you can fit that into a little bitty gun that is just slightly wider. You take something like a 43, and it is virtually the same size. But I've got 10 rounds instead of 6 rounds. So this is what changed the market. This turned into Ruger doing the same thing with their LCP. Now Shield or Smith and their Bodyguard 2.0. I mean, in all reality, the GX4 is another great one.
Yeah.
We've got 11 rounds in a baby mag. So this is the thing that changed it all. When we figured out, not but we smart people, not me, figured out that you could fit a double stack or a stack and a half, how are you going to argue that, into a really small magazine where it fits into a small grip. It gives me a lot more capacity, which also has the side effect of the first couple of rounds, you got a little extra weight in there. So if we're just talking about ounces, I get it, but ounces are ounces, and that does help to settle things down a little bit. So that's what changed. When they changed that kind of just, the whole market changed. And you have some companies that decided, well, I'm not going to make it wider, I'm just going to make it longer so I can fit 10 rounds into it. And it's like, well, you are missing the idea there, guys.
Yeah.
We all know that, God rest his soul, hopefully we'll be seeing some new changes from some of those companies coming up, please.
Dude, appreciate you spending a little bit of time after we got done shooting just to talk about the subcompacts and yeah, just that a little bit of the evolution and kind of why they look the way they look nowadays and why
so give me
380's
double
coming
stack
out.
mags. Don't give me truncated things. I don't need the truncated things. I want something that's going to work, and there's a lot of great options out there. 380s are still a great source for some people, but if you can get into a 9 is a great option.
Yeah, definitely always a little bit more would be nice, but if 380 is all we can do, then better than nothing. Appreciate you coming in today.
No problem.
Thanks everybody for sticking with us. Check out graysentinel.com if you got some time, where we'll be showcasing everything we talked about up here, ammo, gear, everything else you might need. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the usual
all the
spots.
socials.
Yeah, nowhere new. So every place you already can think of. So swing by, hang out, and let us know what you all think down in the comments. Peace.
See you guys.
Okay. Did you hit the record?
I hit the record. Ready? Do
Yes.
the clap. We were not even on pace, but that made it work.
Yes, that'll work for the audience.